question, anything that you wanted to ask, you can type in your chat box, or you can unmute your mic, and as our usual practice, you can ask me these questions. So this is how it's always working. Okay, so let's move on with today's session. But before moving, let me show you a few important things. So when you are here on the portal, I think everything is now uploaded on the portal. There are a few sessions which I think were not available to you previously, but I have already settled with that problem, and a few problems will be settled by tomorrow. Okay, so let me take you through all the portal, and we can discuss what we have done from the portal and where are these videos which you can find. Okay, so when you click here on the start learning, you will find all the material available for this course. This material will be available for you later on as well, so you can have access to these materials. So first, if you check on this, there are 4 different modules and 1 additional learning tab. So the additional learning tab is where I already asked you. Maybe I have a few videos which I'm sharing with you, but some of these videos are already part of your modules, and some videos they were not part of your module. So I put them under this additional learning. Okay, and there might be a few more videos which you will find under the additional learning later on, as I'll review all the module and remaining videos before this week. Okay, so technically the content would be completed within this week. This week is the last one, and we'll be having one concluding session on next Sunday. I'll try to make it 4 to 5 or 4 to 6, so 2-hour session where I'll be happy to respond to your queries and your questions. But before this, we will send you an email with the Google documents where I would request you to upload your work so I can review more in detail, and I can give you comments based on your work. Okay, so that's possible, but you need to upload the template, which we have already, we are working on that template since day 1. So once you have completed that template as per your understanding, just send me so I can help you have a look and give you feedback on your portal. But that obviously is not possible within 1 week, but try to make it as early as possible. I'll try to fix a specific date, because after this it's really difficult for me to read everything if you are sending me in bits and pieces. So it's better I will decide one ending date for your assignment. We can say it as an assignment. This is about your template. So you need to follow all my steps and complete the template and send me your report. So I will look into your reports, and I'll try to give you feedback, and especially when we are working within the teams and using all these AI tools. So if possible for you, I'll just give you 15 days time, because we are already working on this. So hopefully within 2 weeks you can upload that document, and when I receive it, I can help you giving your feedback. In addition to this, we'll be having our concluding session in the next Sunday. That's the timing is not confirmed yet. I will update timing, and then our team will send you an email for the conclusion of the course. So how did we concluded this and what we learned? So let me just take you through the content, the course content, and then we'll be working back on the today's module. Okay, so we discussed the introduction. In this part, we technically discussed the module, what are the different modules and what are the tools should be included, and what exactly the systematic literature review process is. Okay, so in this course, we are following a different systematic literature review process, but there are some standard systematic literature review process, which I will update in additional learning, and you will find that video useful for you if you want to learn a basic systematic literature review. Okay, so that you can do, but this is an advanced level systematic literature review that might be start from the understanding that you already know how to do or how to conduct a systematic literature review. So if you are not familiar with that, I will add one video for you, a short learning video where you can learn how to do or how to conduct a systematic literature review. Okay, so that was basic. Then we started with formulating a research question with AI tool. I use Elicit and ChatGPT in order to help us to write effective systematic literature reviews. So the videos are available here, but these videos are, you can develop different questions. Live sessions are already there, and then you have how to use ChatGPT, and then we have a specific learning about the research question and how to develop keywords from your research question. So in this lecture, we have already explained how you can use ChatGPT, and also you can use elicit.org in order to refine your research question and standardize finding in standardized keywords. Okay, so that's really important. Your keywords, they should be aligned with the literature. So that's called standardization in systematic literature while we are working with the key terms. Okay, so key terms must be standardized, and you need to list all the synonyms or the substitute. The possibility of everything should be listed down, and then we can work within the queries. Okay, so once you are done with that, the next step was conducting a systematic literature review, module 3 with AI tool, where you have all the search strategy, and then how to work with the databases, how to use Prisma guidelines to extract data from Scopus and Web of Sciences. This is where you have all these sessions, and in one live session we discuss about the Scopus, and in one live session we discuss about the Web of Sciences. So if you are if you want to work with the Web of Science, you can watch this live session Sunday. I have already discussed how we can use Web of Sciences there. Okay, so once we are done with that part, so the next step was analysis. So this, in terms of the descriptive analysis, the video is available here. All the descriptive analysis, how you can use BiblioShiny, how you can use R package. Some people, they ask me whether we can use any other software. Yes, we can use different software like VOSviewer, like Giphy, like SiteSpace. I have a few videos on those softwares as well. So I will share the link of those software with you in additional learning, so you can use them. But the way this course was structured, it is based on BiblioShiny, because I have extracted those keywords and developed those keywords, and I use those keywords for development of the themes or clusters, which I use through BiblioShiny. You can do that with other software as well, but there are some positive things or positive aspects of this BiblioShiny. Why I choose it? Because it gives you calculations of centrality, and also it gives you calculation for density. So based on this, we can develop 4 different quadrants of our research team. So that's the power of BiblioShiny. That's why I used and I designed this with this AI tool, systematic literature. But it's your choice still. If you want to use any other software, I will add a few software for you here and additional learning, and you can learn different software. Okay, so once you are done with that part and you have done your descriptive analysis, the next step was working with your theme. So I have separated these videos here where you have learned how to use BiblioShiny to generate different themes, and how we can label them, and how we can merge them into one theme, because sometimes BiblioShiny will give you different options and you want to combine them and merge them into 1 or 2 or 3 themes. So how to do that, I have already uploaded these videos for you. Okay, so that's how we are working with the module 4. Okay, so the things are already there, and how to use that elicit.org to write in your within your clusters that we have discussed in the previous video, and some part of it I'll discuss today as well. So this is how your module content is already being developed on your portal. So if you have any difficulty, you can just discuss with me. Okay, so let me just conclude this discussion. The discussion is same. In this lecture, we will be discussing about Genie.ai and any other tool which can help us in writing conclusion. But we started with the conceptualization again, because that we need to learn. That's why I always start my session with the same slide, so it may have a long-term impact on your memory. So we are working with 4 steps. The first one was basically development of research question, which I believe you have already done. Then we wrote about the introduction, and we worked the keywords, which are really important part of our learning. Okay, from that, as I mentioned in my portal, you can see we have the systematic literature review process using Prisma framework, which we discussed in the live session, and also I provided you a few videos. Okay, so all these steps have been implemented, and how to implement them, you can watch those videos and you can follow those steps. I believe you have already done that, but if you have not done that, you can watch those videos anytime and you can follow them. Okay, and then finally, we have the data extraction from Web of Sciences and Scopus. I showed you the video. Synthesis and analysis. Analysis are the 2 different parts. Descriptives, which we have already covered in module 3, and then in module module 3, I think, and in module 4 we discuss about the literature clustering, which is live session, last live session, and we discuss how we can develop different themes and how we can merge and combine those themes in order to write an efficient literature review. Okay, and then finally the final part was reporting. Okay, now for reporting, in the last video I discussed how we can use ChatGPT, and we can also use elicit.org in order to report your findings. Okay, we need to generate tables from elicit.org, and then we need to copy those tables into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to define, to compare, to provide limitation, to discuss the findings. So ChatGPT can do everything for you in order to report your results. So this is how the process will work. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we have a question here. Installed in RStudio after multiple tries. Once downloaded, I can installation was gone. How to access BiblioShiny? Okay, once you installed our package, I have given you one video. Katrina has also given you that command, but also we need to install the bibliometrics package first. Okay, and how to do that, I have already uploaded that video, how to install and upload. Okay, so first thing, you need to install that bibliometrics package. The package is not automatically installed, so you need to install, and after this you can run this command, and then even if you just write library and in the brackets you just write bibliometrics, the system will give you automatic instructions, so just follow that one. Okay, so that's simple one. Okay, so if you are not clear about anything, so the video is available. Just follow those steps. I have already given you the syntax as well, and the syntax is also available in the file also. Okay, there are different methods. I have already uploaded the Word file with you as well. So just follow that instruction in that Word file. And still, if you have problem, just send me the screenshot so I can understand what exactly your problem is, and then I can help you to resolve your problem. Okay, so this is a simple process of doing systematic literature review quickly and efficiently without wasting a lot of time. Okay, now in the last section, or in the last live session, we discussed one important thing. So when we are working within the themes, sometime elicit.org will give you relevant literature, and sometime you may have to add a few articles which you want to include in your analysis. Okay, in that case, you will use Scholarly, another software which I have already discussed in the last video, and I will also add a few videos separately on Scholarly, how to use that Scholarly software. Okay, so you can upload your document or your research article in order to generate the summary and the key finding of your research paper. And then you can just copy and paste those summary and finding in your table, which you have created from elicit.org, and you have already exported that in Excel sheet. So this is how it works. Okay, so it's a simple process, and I believe until here everything is clear. And the tools I told you to use, I believe you became familiar with those tools. And if there is any difficulty, please, you can discuss at this point if you have any question. Okay, because this is a whole process. Okay, we are working with the different theme, how to develop those theme, and I told you how to work within theme. So we discuss as a sample only one theme, but obviously if you have 3 or 4 themes, you need to repeat that process and you can work. Okay, and sometime while I'm writing this for any journal, I write them like it is 2-stage systematic literature review process. It's not just a systematic literature review, it is 2-stage. The first stage, we develop themes. Okay, and within the themes you need to work in the same way for a different research question which is related to that particular theme as well, and then we can apply all those steps within the themes as well. So it can be a 2-stage, it's your choice still. So it can be a 2-stage systematic literature review. Stage 1, where you identify different working and different themes and cluster, and within each theme, obviously we have narrowed down our question and divided into 3 or 4 different themes. Now we can work within every theme that would be more specific. And when you are working like the systematic literature review process and find out the relevant studies, and you will find out that there are a few studies, maybe for 25 to 30 studies within the one cluster would be okay. But if your cluster have like 400, 500 studies, each cluster, that is not possible to analyze within one research question. Okay, so that's really a broader research question which you identified at the first stage. So that's why I assume everybody will use Goldilocks test before starting your systematic literature review process. So this is a previous work before moving to today's process, where I'll be discussing about how to write a conclusion. But before moving that, I open forum for question answer. I believe there might be a few questions which you wanted to ask. Okay, so obviously I would be happy to take your question. Okay, Tabinda, can you ask question? Unmute your mic so others can listen as well. So unmute your mic and ask question if there is no problem with your mic. Tabinda, we can't hear you. Okay, so let me read your question. Okay, what's the minimum limit of article for each cluster? That's a very subjective question. So it depending on your area. Sometimes we are working in the area which is too much broader. But practically, I can give you this answer based on my practical experience. There is no rule of thumb for that. So the thing is, the possibility is this: I could not cover more than 30 to 50 articles within one theme. Okay, but depending on this, if, for example, if you have only 2 themes, obviously this can be more than 20, 30 or 4. That's your choice. But optimum number is from 25 to 50 maximum. 50 is on the higher side. Okay, just give me a moment for closing my window. Yes, Raj. Okay, sorry for inconvenience. Okay, so it depends on your area, but don't go beyond 50. 50 is on the higher side. I will be happy with the 50 or sorry 25. Usually 25 is a reasonable number. But obviously, it depends on different cluster as well. It's not a rule where I can, identify if I have total 100 article and those all article would be divided into 4 themes in 25, 25, 25. It's not going to happen. There might be some themes which are, dominant in your area of interest. So maybe you will find 50 research article in one theme, then 10 article in one theme, and then 15 article in one theme. That's really possible. So it depends on the way you work. But obviously, when you started with the right research question and used, Goldilocks test, then I think you would be on right track. Okay, any further question? Anything else? Okay, now most important part, when we are working within the themes, I will upload one video specially on working within the themes today or tomorrow, okay, where I'll discuss what to write and what are the different types when we are working within the cluster and within the theme. That itself a complete science. Okay, so we can do comparison, we can do pros and cons, we can discuss about the limitation on the research. So that depends on the research question you define at the start of your research. But I will give you a few examples where you can discuss, okay, you can find out how to write within the cluster and how to develop understanding about the cluster. So what is the main purpose of research question? That's really important. Okay, so what we are trying to do here is we're trying to learn from the literature, like any AI tool can do it for us. So we are learning the same way the system or the AI tools will learn, the same way I'm trying to learn from the literature, and I'm trying to see what work has been done and where is the limitation and what would be the future. So if I divide a systematic literature review into 3 parts, that would be really, really clear for me or for everybody. Okay, so the first thing is we are learning from the previous literature. So what type of learning? What work has been done? That's the important part. When I say what work has been done, in some cases we are trying to see what experiments have been done, what type of research has been done. So it depending on your research question. So we are looking at what work has been done. The second objective which I wanted to learn from the literature is what are the limitations. Okay, this is where if you check on our previous video, we discussed we need to ask ChatGPT not just to compare or to define the table, but also provide the limitation on the literature. Okay, so what are the limitations? These limitations can be methodological, can be context-based. For example, some studies are being conducted in the modern countries as well, or the developed countries, and developing countries have not working on the same direction, or there is a gap. Okay, so we need to identify the methodological, maybe the contextual, maybe you have understanding of your own area as well, but that where the AI tool can help us to identify the key limitations. And if you remember, when I discuss about the introduction part, writing introduction and collecting information from my research article in the introduction, I asked ChatGPT not just to define the key areas, but also provide me the limitation, the challenges on the literature. So this is the limitation, okay? Now, limitation means these are the areas where the work has not been done properly, okay? Or there is a gap in the literature to working on that. And that will lead me to my third part of my research, which is future recommendations. So these are the points where I can discuss what are the future recommendations. So let me go back to the template. So let's just have a look at the template as well. Okay. So abstract, sorry, I always, overlook this part, but don't worry, I have a complete video on writing an abstract and using Prisma framework. So you will follow all these steps, and I will tell you step by step how to write a good abstract. So that would be in your additional learning as well. Okay, so the first thing, if you remember introduction, these are the research questions we have already done with this part. Okay, research question. And then we have also seen the limitations in the literature and also the strengths. Okay, so the strengths or weaknesses, or maybe it depending on your area of interest, whether you are looking for opportunities or challenges or benefits or limitation, that depends entirely on your research question. But this information we had extracted from ChatGPT, remember? And then we move on. I'm just going to show you quickly about the template, and then I'll move on with the today's content. Okay, so the materials and methods, we have already covered all this part. Every table have been discussed. Okay, now once we are done with the descriptive analysis, the next step was to working within the cluster, and this is where you need to define. I define on basically based on the opportunity, the prospects, and the limitation on the literature. But it doesn't mean that all the time you need to work in the same way. You don't need to follow me exactly, because what you want to learn within the cluster is depending on the research question you have formulated at start. Okay, my research question was clear. It was about the challenges and prospects. So that's why I work on the same area. But obviously, it depends on your research question. So that's why I'm asking, if you will send me your work, I would be able to help you whether you are in the right direction of working within the clusters or not. But obviously that needs some practice and time from you. Okay, so these are the thematic networks which we have extracted from BiblioShiny. You can use any other software. This is thematic evolution or thematic mapping, which I have discussed in the previous video. These are the different clusters. These are the mergers of the different clusters. So one video is already available on the portal, how to merge these different clusters if you want to, but that is optional. In some cases, you don't need to merge, but in some cases, obviously, you need to merge those clusters. Okay, so when we merge these clusters, these are the keywords which were used. These are centrality measurements, which are already available in the Excel sheet we exported from BiblioShiny. But this Excel sheet, we have done some additional working, and we have already combined a few themes or a few concepts. Okay, so similarly, the two and the third theme. Okay, now once we are done with that, this is the time we move within the cluster. Okay, so within the cluster, if you check on, so we are working with sequential cluster, and we will try to find out these three important things here. Okay, I already defined everything within the template. Okay, so we will define these, or we will bring these tables, and these tables we can use elicit.org and Scholarcy to produce. Okay, because all these tables are different and depending on what you want to learn. In my case, I'm okay with the methods, but in maybe medical science is more based on the experimental side. So you need to bring what type of experiment, and they are also concerned with the sample as well. So participants, so that is also possible. You can bring that participant detail in the table as well, and key finding, and then you bring that table to ChatGPT, and it will explain everything. So we have limitations now. Why I'm repeating this? Now we have three things here. We have the summary of our findings. We have limitation on existing literature that lead me to the future development of future predictions. Okay, but this I need to write within each cluster. But this one, the future development, that I need to write within the cluster as well, and I need to provide in the conclusion as well. So, okay, so let's move on. If this thing is clear, can we move on how to work with Jenny.ai in order to write within the cluster, and also for the conclusion, the final part of your research template. Okay, so once we are done with the clusters, the last thing would be writing conclusion. So it's really simple. You need to sum up key finding, discuss limitation on the existing body of knowledge, which is already you have done within the each cluster. Don't bring something really new here. We don't need anything new here. It's just a conclusion. Okay, so most of the time, I prefer to develop a graphical abstract of our finding, and I use Miro software for that. I can upload one video if you need for Miro as well, how to develop different sort of graphical contents as well. Okay, and then finally, this is like just a graphical output of my research. And then we have future limitations and future direction. These are also coming from your themes. Okay, now Noor, I will upload one video for Miro. Miro is a software where we can use different contents and develop our graphical abstract. But that's really an important task to show your idea graphically and use whatever possible for you to create that graphical output more interesting and more beneficial for everybody, because that's the whole idea. Okay, and sometime in some research it is called framework for future researches as well. Okay, so this is how Miro is a website, and obviously you can work and you can collaborate on Miro as well. That's really important. Okay, let me show you. If you want to see Miro, let me quickly, before we move to Jenny.ai, today's work, let me go to this Miro. Miro. I'm not sure it's Miro or Miro. Yeah, this one. Okay, so you can work with this website. Okay, and the good thing is it allow you to collaborate with your other members as well. So it's really easy software. Okay, so you can learn from this software. I will upload one video of this software as well. Sure why it's not working. Okay, so the options are available. Can't understand what's the problem. Okay, but I'll share that video because that's not the part of today's content. But I'll add one video for Miro or with you, and you can work on this. And I will show you, or I will share with all of you some of these templates as well, which I have created for my work, and you can reuse them. I'm more than happy if you can work and you can reuse them. That's possible. So I will share that link with you. Okay. So this is software for graphical abstract writing, but that is for graphical abstract writing. Okay. Now, the thing is, the most important part here is now how to write conclusion. Obviously, you can use ChatGPT. We are already aware of this software. Use Ellison.org, but we also have another website which is really amazing, which is called Jenny.ai. This is specifically for research purposes. Okay, you need to log in. They have their paid version and they have their free version as well. This software is really good, and it also have a few, what we call it, because it's paid. But we can use a little bit of, somehow maybe 200 or 300 words per day. But that software was really awesome for researchers. So that's why I believe I should share it with you. Okay, but depending on your work, that's why I asked you, we can use this for free, but only for conclusion, or where we have really difficult situation, because otherwise you need to pay. And if you can pay, I would suggest you to buy this. It's really amazing software. Okay, it's really amazing. So what it can do for you, okay, Yes, you are working, Tabinda, you are working on clinical pharmacy. Should I make cluster according to lab investigation as part of, yes, that lab investigations are really, can be the decision for your cluster development. Experimental design, maybe you have different experiment. It can also be based on the participant, depending on the way you structured your question, whether you are interested in the participant. Maybe sometime we are discussing the medicine based on different results of different participants, so that's possible. Maybe different gender, that's possible. So it depending on your research question. The method, obviously experimental design is really important method. If you want to define your literature based on experimental design, that's possible. But sometimes we combine 2 or 3 different type the experiment into one theme. That might be, there is a possibility you will find some similarities in different experiments or different lab investigations, and you can combine them under one theme. Because if you define different experiments, and then maybe there may be 10 or 12 different methods, there might be more than that, and it's really difficult for you to write a separate theme for every different lab investigation. So you try to find out or figure out a method through which you can combine a few lab investigation under one theme, and then you can work on with the literature more efficiently. Okay, so let's move on. Okay. Okay, so let me just give you an example of Jenny.ai, and if you have any question, just give me 15 minutes. First, I will complete this Jenny.ai, and then we can go back for question and answer session. Okay, so Jenny.ai is really important. Why it is important? It can give you themes, it can give you sub sections of your writing. It can give you references. It can integrate references in many different formats. So that's purely designed for researcher, and it allow you to upload different form of the papers and documents as well. If you can just upload your whole themes and ask it to write conclusion, it can do it for you with references and with everything. It's really an important tool. But obviously these options are only available when you pay. I have not paid for this, so but I find it more interesting to give you an idea of what exactly this software is capable of. Okay, so when you check on this, let's say we start with Jenny.ai again. So we should learn how to work with Jenny. Okay, so if you are new, you need to log in. But if you want to work for free, always, I love to work for free. So start writing for free here, and it will take you to another window where you can start working. But obviously these options are in the test phase, because we need, if we want to work with the Jenny.ai. So I'm not sure what is their pricing strategy. You can check on, and if you find it suitable for you, it's not just for systematic literature review writing, so you can use it for any form of writing. And maybe it's really important to develop sections of your content, and it can help you. So why I'm referring this software to you, because it gives me a few very important options. Okay, so for example, I want to work with this one. This is the content. Okay, so let me just close this one. Okay, so if I want to work with this, and this is a tab. If you click here, it will open another window for you. Okay, and this is not just a window, it's a window of opportunities for you while we are writing. Okay, so for example, let's say we want to work with a new document. Okay, so it will ask you, when you ask for a new document, it asks you what you want to write. Okay, so I can just give system any command, any prompt. Okay, now the good thing about Jenny, it will give you what is the quality of your prompt, whether it is average, good, or best. Okay, so if you check when sorry for interruption. So if you check when I change the content, okay, now this give me message, okay, it's a great prompt. Jenny will reference this when generating text. Okay, so now the prompt is accurate. Now you can move on and we can work with Jenny.ai and ask it to start writing. Okay, now before you log in, it will ask you why you want to use Jenny. So I have already set this on academic writing and you know my qualification as well. So that's why it's already settled with that part. So start writing. Now it will start generating content for you. And the good thing is it will ask you whether you like it or not. So if you want to change it, just click here and it will change the content again. Okay. Now you can see that the content has been changed. So if you want to accept it, then it will write another, you know, you can see. Good. Okay. Now I can accept this. And then I ask system to cite, add a citation, go back there, and you will see that an amazing option to cite. So click here, and now the system will give you citation automatically. And these citations are not like ChatGPT or any other AI tool. It is accurate citation and it will give you complete detail of that particular topic. So it's your choice which one you want to add. Okay, so it's really amazing when we are writing, even in the introduction and the conclusion. Okay, so the way we develop the prompt, it will start writing and it will ask you whether you want to add these citations, whether these citations are okay for you, and even it will give you all the details of social outmeters like cite it, how many times this research has been cited and all this. So you can quickly, for example, this one is 57 times cited in different publications. So let me just add this citation. So now the system have already added this citation and also completed those reference for you. You can change the reference type, you can change the reference style, anything. Okay, so that's an amazing tool through which you can, you know, develop any sort of prompt and write your content and write add citations as well. Okay, so this is one part of Jenny.ai. And another thing, okay, so for example, if this prompt is this window is really important. If I want to generate the sub themes or subsections of my article, so I can ask AI to write these content and develop a few in-text citation, subsections as well. Okay, so here also edit and improve, you have all the options. When you click here, you will write with more depth, opposing argument, write a conclusion, write an introduction. Everything is available in this software. That's why it's really, really, you know, amazing tools. Okay, so I want to ask here, for example, first, I want to ask to create subsections. Now this is different options the ChatGPT, or sorry, Jenny.ai will give you in terms of writing subsection. And then you can move on and you can use this Jenny.ai to write different options for you. Okay, so it's really an amazing tool, and you can use this tool for introduction, for theme, writing within the theme, writing opposing comments or limitation in the literature with the citation. Everything is available here, and the good thing about Jenny.ai is it's really systematic. It gives you option and it tells you what to do next as well. For example, if you click here, you will see how can smart contract benefit in digital supply chain. This is a related topic. What are the key features of smart contracts? These are already developed prompts, so I can just click here and this will be giving me a new content based on these already available prompts. So that's really important and easy way of writing my conclusion and writing my research. Okay, so now what we need to do and how we need to use this ChatGPT. You can use it within the cluster while we are writing, because we need to cite, and also we need counter arguments as well. Okay, so for example, if we have this one again, if you remember, we were discussing about this topic, and if we need a few counter arguments, so we can just write some opposing arguments. Now you can see it's already given me a few. Okay. Then I just insert below now my opposing references, or my opposing arguments are already in there. And again, I can click here and anywhere and ask it to add citation for that content, so it can automatically relate my contact with the available citation and give me citations and their details as well. So that's why it's really easy, simple tool, and it's amazing in terms of writing our literature review. It's not just for literature review, there are many different options available for this Jenny.ai, how we can use it. Okay, so it's better to learn more about this software, but I will extract this particular video from this session, where I have discussed how to use Jenny.ai and upload in a separate video as well. But if you want to learn, it's also the same thing, because I will be extracting this short video separately. So if you already have this full recording of full session, there is no need for separate learning. But if you want to learn more about it, you can use this software, you can work with it, and if you have any difficulties, we can discuss and we can further resolve those issues. So that's how you can use Jenny.ai. But obviously the system have limitation for 200 words in one day. You need to upgrade. Obviously, if you feel this is useful tool, obviously you can upgrade now. It's not too much expensive, but still it's a really important tool for us, all of us, in terms of writing systematic literature review and even a simple literature review for your research. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. So I'm going to conclude things here, and then I will open for question answer before we conclude today's session. Okay, so we were working with different themes, and within the themes, I told you how to write and how to report different arguments. Okay, so we want summary, we want limitation, and we want future direction. And this is where you can use ChatGPT, you can use elicit.org, and also you can use Jenny.ai. At least 200 words are fair enough in order to develop counter arguments, which are really difficult in some sort of areas where the research is not available. So you can ask Jenny.ai to write this form of the argument for you. Okay, so the conclusion writing is simple. You need to bring all those ideas which we have already developed within the theme. But before writing conclusion, you need to follow the template again. The template tells you how to use that. Okay, so there are three important parts for the conclusion. You need to sum up the key findings for all cluster. Now, this can be done in two ways. For example, if I stop sharing just for a moment. I want to figure out if I have that particular research with me. Just give me a moment. I don't have that particular research which I wanted to share with you, but we can use our template again. Okay, so let's go back to ChatGPT. You can do conclusion based on different tools, but ChatGPT is one of them, a very important tool and very important trick in ChatGPT as well. Okay. Okay. When we are working with ChatGPT, do you know ChatGPT have a limitation? It can't read, if you copy a large content, it will not give you, opportunity to upload a whole research article. Okay, so it's not possible for us to upload a whole research article within this ChatGPT. But there is a trick which you can use in order to let me open any research article, and then I'll let you know how to work with that, because we are writing conclusion. And when you are writing conclusion, the thing is you need to provide all the content to your AI tools and ask them to summarize, right? That's how we write, summary if we want to use any AI tool. But the limitation with the ChatGPT is that it will not allow you to upload like a whole document. So what we need to do that, what we can do in that case, for example, if I want to upload all the findings of all my themes, okay? So how to do that and how we can create a summary of our research. So for example, if I want to write a conclusion from all these, writing of this research, and I want ChatGPT to just summarize the key finding. Okay, now let's try to work this with ChatGPT with a different command. Nikita, just wait for me to complete this conclusion, and then I will come back to your question. It's really interesting question, how we can use sites and all this. Yeah, just give me a moment, okay? So these are all, for example, my writing, and I want to create a conclusion from all this writing. This is a quick summary of any research article. But the limitation with ChatGPT, if you copy that, this is not maybe. So the system automatically developed, but why the system automatically developed the summary? Because the content was within, I think it allows to upload 4,000 or 3,000 words. But for example, if you have content which is more than that, or obviously when we are writing 10,000 word or more than 10,000 word, the content would be more than this. So what to do and how we can do it? It's really a good tip. Please remember this command and always use it when you want to work with a larger content within the ChatGPT and with non-paid versions. Okay, for example, if I ask ChatGPT, for example, I'm just going to divide my content into three different maybe sections. Okay. Okay. This one I copied and I given this prompt, read when finish reading. Okay. Now this is really an important, let me make it more clear to you. Okay, read the content. Now this is, I wrote it the content, but for example, if you are using 4 different themes, now you need to read the findings of theme 1, for example, supply chain, digital supply chain. Read the content about, or read the finding about supply chain, or read the finding of literature about supply chain. So these are all different options you need to write. You need to specify this content. The more you specify this content, it's easier for AI tool to understand what you want from him or from it. Okay, so read the content and write done when finish reading. Okay, so when I add this command, I just click here. Okay, so the system have already done. So it means that the done reading 1. Then and now I'm bringing second content. Okay. Okay, so again, I'll give the same command, but this time I asked ChatGPT to read and write done when finish. Okay, so the same thing, and you can see system already got done. Okay, so I'm not concerned with what did it write again. Now we have 2 different parts, and all these parts are already uploaded on the ChatGPT. Okay, so I'm just giving it command. Now you can see it gives you all the summary of the finding of reading 1 and 2. So you can trick your AI tool, use the ability to learn within continuation, and you can upload as much as you want in terms of content. For example, 6,000, 10,000 finding from 10 articles. You can just ask AI or ChatGPT to read, and you can give label, okay, read, and label it label 1, read and label it label 2, and then all the readings are being done. Then you can use any prompt, for example, compare, comparison, summary, everything is possible in terms of AI tool, and it can provide you the summary of whatever you want to learn. Okay, but the thing is, remember, the main important task is when you are working within the themes. If you have developed your own content, obviously we are using all these Chat GPT and AI tools for writing for us, but that writing should include your own ideas as well. So once you are done with that conclusion, I think there is no harm in concluding all those findings from all these AI tools, because it is not AI generated content. It is your content, and the AI is just summarizing all these findings. Okay, so this is how we write conclusion in our template, and this is how we need to work within our template and within on the way we conduct our systematic literature review. That's it for this module or this course. Now, a few things which I wanted to discuss before we we may conclude this session. The first thing is important is this: follow the template for the first time, and later on you can write your own ideas in different format. Once you learn this process, obviously you can improvise and you can use different strategies to improve your research. Okay, and use these tools especially for graphical representation that play a key role in your research when you are trying to submit in any good journal, as well as if you are working for any thesis. That's really important to develop good graphical representation of your ideas. Okay. For my share, Greta, I will upload one research article which is already in progress and which is completely written on based on these ideas. So I can share one whole research article for you. For this template, I have not completed yet. I will also complete it with you and try to submit after 15 days. I will do that as well. But for your reference, I will upload one research article which is in progress and that follow the similar content. But with this confidence that you will not share that research article everywhere, okay, because that is not published yet. So it's a greater risk, but it's worth to take that risk. Okay, so I will share that and you can use that as a reference point for all of you. Okay, so use that template, learn the techniques, and then you can improve your working. And meanwhile, if you have any idea and you are working and you want me to collaborate, I would be more than happy to help you in any stage of your research, and I would be partner in your research. So that would be a great idea if we can do something like this. Okay, so that's how this module works. Now let's go back for question and answer session, because there are many questions which I did not took while I was working with Jenny.ai. So let's take a few questions and then we move on with. Okay, so can you unmute your mic and ask your questions, please, because there are a few questions which I missed during this. So if you have any questions, please. Yeah, Katrina, please go ahead.
Hello. I would like to know if there are any other visualization tool that you would like to suggest other than BiblioShiny that has already some visualization or
but what's the purpose? What do you want from that tool? For example, I use BiblioShiny is very clear. I wanted to use it for this specific purpose. So what's your plan?
For abstract or keywords clusterization or visualization of keywords.
So mainly
what you have, but you said that you used Miro.
Okay.
Any other
for
similar tree map?
Yeah, there are a few tools which can help you. I use largely WOS Viewer. It's a really good or useful tool, and it have a really good graphical representation as well. I will upload that video, and you can. I'm just giving you the link for this website also. Okay, so WOS Viewer is a really good and free software. Okay, there are a few like SiteSpace and other tools are also available now, but these tools they have some limitation, and some tools are already paid. Okay, so paid version I am not including in this course. So the WOS Viewer is same, okay, but it gives you more graphical representation than the text output. Okay, for example, I'm interested in exporting those documents or those results into Excel sheet. Okay, so that's where this WOS Viewer have some limitation, but it is really useful, a really good tool for bibliometrics analysis. If you want to work with it, you will enjoy that. Okay, and then we have Giphy. Giphy is another graphical representation of this. And also SiteSpace, they are the famous one. Okay, SiteSpace, Giphy, and WOS Viewer. So WOS Viewer is free, Giphy is free, but not all content. SiteSpace is the same thing. Okay, so these are really good tools which you can use But I will also upload a few videos because I have those videos already on my channel. I'll share that with you. Okay.
I was saying the next restoration, but it just went off architecture.
Yeah. Any other question? Okay. For Ruth, you asked me whether they are real reference. Jenny.ai always use real references, okay, and it uses Cite as mentioned by Greta. So Cite is another useful site where you can learn for bibliometrics as well, but that is really a useful database. But this can help you in many ways, okay. For the ChatGPT references, I never ask you to use ChatGPT. ChatGPT will never give you right references or accurate references. The content is being created by AI, so you can't rely references directly from AI, especially ChatGPT or any Bread or Bing as well. So try to use these tools just for brainstorming and collecting information and maybe writing conclusion. That's fine, but when it comes to the references thing, please use Jenny.ai. That is a more reliable source of working. And also Elicit.org, we have already worked with Elicit. So Elicit is also an amazing tool, and it gives you real references because it is working with the Semantic Scholar. That is another database where we have all these research articles available. So that's why the references would be accurate. Okay. Okay. Any further question on this? Anything you want to share? Any comments? Any question? Because that might be our final opportunity to work within the content. The next session would be only for question answer and your problems. That would not be based on any content. So if you have any difficulty in learning, any issues, or you want me to upload anything for you, please go ahead and let me know. I will help you in learning as much as I can. Okay. Any question? Okay, if there is no further question, let's just conclude today's session. Now, today's session was basically the conclusion of our template. Let me go back to the template, so make it clear for everybody how to work for the first time. Then later on, once you learn these, you can work in different ways as well. So for the abstract, I'm just noting it down because sometimes I forget to upload the video, which I promised. That may be not a good thing. Okay, so the first thing is the abstract. So I have a video. When you are writing a systematic literature review, you can't just write any form of abstract. There is a template we must need to follow. We call it Prisma guideline. Okay, it is already available on the Prisma website, but I have already created a video on which I have explained how you can use this Prisma guideline in order to write a efficient or maybe interesting abstract. So one video I'm going to upload is abstract writing. Okay, but these all videos would be in your additional learning. Okay, so the abstract part with this template, I believe it is done. One previous Friday session is not available. It is available now. If you can check it now, I have already make these corrections. So please check the previous Friday session is accessible to you or not, please. And if it is still not, just let me know. I believe it is available now. Please check it now. Okay, so the introduction part we have already done with the help of ChatGPT and Elicit.org. So there was two important things. So we developed questions from Elicit.org and we use ChatGPT to define key issues, then limitation on the research, and then we define our research question. That's the way, that's the structure of our introduction. So this part can be done with the help of ChatGPT, but where you need references, obviously you can bring Jenny.ai in here, and then we can move on. Okay, so provide a brief overview of subsequent sections of your paper. That's an optional thing, but in some paper we can add, because it gives us reader an idea what are the next sections of the paper. Okay, so material and methods, we are using these keys, and we are just copying this, and we are defining each and every step which we used in literature search and document downloading. So the total was 415. I used Prisma framework. Okay, so the results, descriptive analysis, we used only one tool for that, bibliometric tool, which is BiblioShiny, but you can use WOS Viewer. I will upload that video. So another video is WOS Viewer. Sorry for that. Let me note it down. WOS Viewer. Okay. So that would be to learn about the WOS Viewer. Okay. So the descriptive analysis, you can easily add any software here and use this software in order to extract information from your data. Then Bradford law and all this descriptive analysis is being done. Okay, then move on. The next step is to develop cluster. This is where we use BiblioShiny and we develop cluster. And the cluster is being developed based on the keyword, but you can use keywords, the author keyword, the keyword plus, which is system developed keywords, or you can use that title of research article. The system will automatically detect the keywords and develop your themes, or you can use abstract for more information or for more in detail theme. So if your research may contain only 30, 40 or 50 or 60 research article, I would recommend you to go with the abstract, because it will give you more detailed thematic mapping. Otherwise, if you have 400, 200 plus research article, I would recommend you to work with keyword plus or author keywords only. Okay, so that's how we work. This is how BiblioShiny develop themes, and then we can merge those themes if we need. If in our case the themes are different, so we can develop. But if this is the case, for example, there are only 3 themes, so I would go with these 3 themes. I don't need to merge them or combine 2 clusters or anything. That's not required. But if there are more than 10, because in this example which we carried out in this course, there were 10 different themes, and these themes I divided them into different 4 quadrants, and then I merged them and created only 4 clusters or themes, not 10 themes. Okay, because the 10 is not a rational number to work within one systematic literature review. And then we have these extraction. These are extractions from BiblioShiny in Excel sheet, and then you copy them here and just try to explain. If you can't explain, just ask ChatGPT to explain them for you. Just copy paste in ChatGPT and ask explain these tables from the bibliometrics analysis. The ChatGPT can help you. But I have also uploaded one Word file for you with this when we were working with the BiblioShiny, so you can understand. If you can't understand from the video, you can just read that document and you will understand how these different themes are working together. Okay, so that's also uploaded in the portal. So then we will be working within the cluster. So within the cluster, actually you are working like a systematic literature review approach again. For each cluster, you need to identify the key points. You need to include the summary of finding that we can do from elicit.org, or we can do it from Scholarcy.ai. Okay, and Scholarcy also, I need to upload one video just for Scholarcy, so you can understand how you can use Scholarcy. But we already have some part of it in our live session, so there is no problem in using it. But I will add one video as well in additional sections. And then we need to discuss the limitation. This is where I have already discussed. You can use Jenny.ai, you can use elicit.org, or you can use ChatGPT in order to identify the limitation on existing literature, future developments, and all this. So this is how we work within the team. Then we need to write a conclusion. We have discussed this part today, and the graphical abstract, I will add one video for you for Miro. Okay. So the Miro software, it will help you to develop a graphical abstract or graphical finding or framework for your research. And then the literature limitation and future direction that are directly extracted from the themes which we have discussed and should be included here. Remember, please avoid anything new in conclusion. We don't want anything new in the conclusion. We just want to conclude what we have done in our research. Okay, so whatever you want to bring in the conclusion, for example, for the future studies or for limitations, please, you need to discuss those in your themes as well. Okay, don't just bring them from nowhere in your conclusion and in your recommendation. That is not the way we do work in systematic literature review, not just in systematic literature review, in any research. Okay, so the ideas should have a flow starting from introduction until your conclusion and finding and limitations as well. Okay, so that's how we work within this structured course for systematic literature review, and I hope everybody can work on it, and we'll have one more live session, but I want you to work before that live session, and I will take your opinion on that when this live session would be, because sometime, if possible, we can work within 1 week and we can have it next week. That is most preferably on Sunday, but I will also share some information through email, so you can respond to that email. And I will also share one Google Drive link where you need to upload your final template, which you have already done, okay, within 15 days after next week. So in total, you will have almost 21 days to complete that. And then I will start working with you. But meanwhile, continue your work and upload your, final, maybe a complete research article or whatever you have done. So I can help you in order to improve that research. That would be really helpful for me as well. I'll be learning from you also. Okay, so that's how we work within this course, and I hope you learn and you enjoyed it, and I believe it will give you opportunity to improve your research skill. So please go ahead and try to work with these different options and tools which we have discussed. Okay, can AI help us in quality assessment of the article, or we need to fill the quality assessment test manually? I would not recommend you to use any AI tool, because the AI tools have their own limitations. The quality assessment, especially because we have already done extensively with AI, and that Excel sheet is extracted. Once that Excel sheet is extracted, I would recommend you to work on that Excel sheet, because that's really important. That is the main source of your or data of your research. So spend some time with that Excel sheet, make yourself familiar with all those studies, because we are going to write from those research articles. So take some time and assess the quality one by one. Okay, because that might be maximum. In my case, it's too huge. I have 415 articles, but still it will take only 2-3 hours for me to just work within that Excel sheet in order to assess the quality of research articles. Okay, so while you are studying the article title and sometime the abstract, you are also learning. Okay, you are also making an perception of what is going to happen. So I would recommend, please use manual working for this quality assessment, especially when we have already extracted the Excel sheet as well. Okay, the ChatGPT for systematic literature review, I have identified the reason, because that is from another YouTube channel, and I believe that our system will not allow to bring videos from other YouTube channels. So I will sort out this problem, and hopefully will be solved within today or maybe tomorrow. Okay, so I will send you email once the problem is being solved. So no problem. I know this problem. Okay, so I'll try to sort out this problem. Okay, so thank you very much. And I believe everybody is going to work and try to, improvise your available resources and try to work quickly on research article, and then we can have further discussion if you have any difficulties in your learning or in your writing. Thank you very much and have a very nice day, and hopefully we'll meet next week. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Prof.
Thank you.